What's up, everybody? Welcome into the newest episode of Crunch Time with Kruck, Season 4, Episode 3.
Yes, sir.
Seated, as always, with Mad Max. Max Williams, what's up, bud?
What up, man? It's a busy week for me this week. Obviously, as you can see, I'm repping out the Joe Burrow jersey that, got at a good price, Kruck. Actually from a good bargain. Only $15 that I got for this jersey. So, hey, I appreciate it a lot. So we'll see if we get it done, though, this week.
Well, for you to be wearing a Bengals jersey this late in the year, you had to go to the back of your closet.
Yeah.
I went to the back of my closet, got on an old Eric
look at
Krunch
that.
jersey with the Brewers. He was only there for like 6 months,
Yeah.
but still a great guy. Let's get things started right away. Football. There's only one game left to talk about. Max, I think you might have a weighted interest in this one.
Oh, yeah. As you could tell, you know what I mean? But, no, it's going to be, like I said, to be honest with you, this will be a great game, Kruck. You know what I mean? I think, obviously, whenever you hear about the Super Bowl, it's going to live up to the hype, right? You're going to have two good teams. You're going to have two good teams, and both offenses are obviously high-powered. You know what I mean? You got the Rams offense with, obviously, Matthew Stafford. Obviously, his first rodeo at this, Kruck. After 12 hard seasons in Detroit, finally getting his opportunity then. That's very good to see for him, especially getting in that place. But obviously, you got weapons too with Odell Beckham and Cooper Kupp as well. But the Bengals, man, they've been on this ride. You know what I mean? I really thought at the beginning of the year, and I've told people a lot this, I thought the Bengals would not do it this year. I really thought it'd just be, they're the same team. But no, they've proved me wrong, and they've done everything, that they can. And Joe Burrow's been the main reason for it. But I think, Kruck, when you look at this, I think it really comes down to, for this game specifically, the O-line and the D-line. Specifically, the O-line of the Bengals versus that D-line of the Rams. I think it's going to come down to, can the Bengals hold up Aaron Donald and Von Miller from that pass rush? Because when you got 9 sacks coming up against Tennessee Titans, we still look at that, it was 2 weeks ago. But that's tough to have, especially like a quarterback like Joe Burrow that wants to get it out quickly out of his hands. So that's going to have to be a big key in this game, especially with the playmakers that we got. You know what I mean? We have the weapons. We got the star power. It's just, can we protect Burrow enough time in the pocket?
I mean, you're absolutely right. Looking at some of the weird insides and outsides of the thing so far, actually one of our producers and cameraman, Garrett Tipton, talked to us, and he said that Joe Burrow is the youngest first overall draft pick to be a quarterback in the Super Bowl, and Matt Stafford is the oldest number 1 pick to be a quarterback in the Super Bowl. So you got some number 1 picks going at it there. Looking at the spread, it's a 3.5-point spread, so this is going to be a really close game.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be. The weird thing that has been popping into my head, in and out, both of these teams are known for their offense, mainly their offense. LA's got that defense that's unrivaled as well, but both of these teams are known for their offense, right? The last time we had a Super Bowl with two huge offenses, the final score was 3-13. Can we see another under 20-point game, Max?
Hey, I mean, it can happen. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's a Super Bowl. You never know. Especially, a lot of people talk about the Rams' defense. I also talk about, how about Cincinnati's defense? You know what I mean? The past couple of weeks, they held Mahomes in the second half to 3 points. And this team can make some plays. But I don't know. I don't see that happening in this game. I feel like this game is still probably going to be high scoring just because the receivers and talent that you have. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I predict this game to be like a 34, 31, kind of like 28 kind of game. I feel like, I'm going to say it, I think the Bengals will win it, but I think it'll be like 34-28 overall. Very close. The Rams are going to try it. I think, though, the Rams start hot, but the Bengals find a way at the end, because that's what they've been doing all year, Grub.
Absolutely, and just going through it once again, you got some huge matchups that you're looking at here. You got receiving-wise, Cooper Kupp and Jamar Chase. It's going to be some great wide receiver action between those two. Looking at the running backs, Sony Michel going against Joe Mixon. That's going to be a great matchup. But let's not forget the quarterbacks, Joe Burrow and Matt Stafford. These two quarterbacks are very mobile, especially Joe Burrow. Matt Stafford, kind of old, but he's still got some legs under him. He has it when he needs it. He's no Ben Roethlisberger where he's going to take a hit in the pocket and stand up. He's going to run out of the pocket. I think this matchup on offense is going to be legendary. It's going to come down to which defense is going to stand strong.
I agree with you there, Kruck. I think it's going to come down to who makes that play at the end, right? I think it's going to come down to, the fatigue and just how everything's going to be. But I think Joe Shiesty and the Bengals will find a way to get it done, Kruck. I think, it'll be a good time to see what will happen so far.
Absolutely. Now moving on to the NBA, the
Yes.
trade deadline's coming up, and we've got some huge trades going on. Max, what's the first trade that you want to break down?
I mean, the biggest one we heard today is James Harden and the Ben Simmons one. I'm kind of intrigued by this, but at the same time, I think looking at this trade, you kind of both guys wanted out. You know what I mean? Ben Simmons kind of knew he was getting out of, with the Sixers and everything that was going on. And James Harden just, looking at him, he hasn't looked like himself, Kruck, when I watched, with obviously the hamstring injury bothering him and other things that are happening. So looking at this trade more in depth, obviously, the Sixers, they got James Harden and Paul Millsap to go to the Sixers. But the Nets got back Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, and Andre Drummond to go to the Nets. And 2 future first-round picks as well. So I think looking at this, I actually think the Nets won this overall than the Sixers. Yeah, I mean, James Harden is a very good player. And, he's going to make a lot of things. But Ben Simmons could help recreate himself down there. With having Kyrie and having Kevin Durant, I think that's going to be very interesting to watch. And obviously adding shooters, too. I think that's another thing, and size as well, that the Nets kind of need. They've been on, like a 10-game losing streak, Kruk, and that's a problem for the Nets, especially a team that was going to be high up there with their top 3 that would have been with Harden, Durant, and Kyrie Irving. So that's going to be very interesting to watch, and I really think that the Nets are actually the winners of that trade.
Absolutely. I'm looking at a couple of other ones that literally just happened not too long ago. The Celtics and the Rockets traded about 4 players. The Celtics are going to get Daniel Theis, and the Houston Rockets are going to get Dennis Schroeder, Enes Freedom, and then Bruno Fernando. Looking at the Wizards and the Mavericks, the Wizards are going to get Kristaps Porzingis, who I've never been a huge fan of. I think injuries just hurt him too much. When he's on the court, he's great, but he only plays 35% of the season, it feels like. And then the Mavericks get Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans. And then one of the other ones that I want to talk about right before I let you jump back in, looking at it, a 4-way trade between the Bucks, the Kings, the Clippers, and the Pistons. So the Bucks are going to get Serge Ibaka and 2 future second-round picks with cash. The Kings are going to get Dante DiVincenzo, Trey Lyles, and Josh Jackson. The Clippers are going to get Rodney Hood and Semi Ojeleye. Are we going with Ojeleye? Ojeleye. Thank you, Tim Hackett. And the Detroit Pistons are going to get Marvin Bagley III. Huge 4-way trade there. Max, which one of those trades you want to talk about next?
I mean, I think what's very interesting is Dante DiVincenzo. I think, getting him with because I look at the Bucks, right? And the Bucks and how he played, he kind of didn't get as known overall. Obviously, we also talk about Giannis and we talk about Chris Middleton. But if you got to think about it, in that run they had for the championship, he was a main piece for that offense. So I think that's very interesting that the Kings, right? The Kings are possibly going to get him in that. I think it's going to be very cool to watch. I mean, not going back to that specific trade, but I was getting back to the Porzingis one. I think that's interesting too, because to the Wizards, and you look at the Wizards right now, they still have Bradley Beal on the team, and you have Kristaps Porzingis. Like we mentioned, when he's healthy, you know what I mean. He's a big, tall. He's a tall man, so he's going to make a lot of plays. I think that's very interesting to see, especially for a Wizards team that's been on and off this entire season. So,
and then one of the other ones I want to talk about is the Pacers and the Kings. The Pacers making a lot of moves. They're going to send Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, and Tristan Thompson to the Pacers in return for a 2027 second-round pick.
Wow.
Justin Holiday, Jeremy Lamb, and then, once again, Tim Hackett. Domantas Sabonis. I knew who he is. I've seen him play. I know so much of his highlight reel. I just cannot say his name. And that's coming from a guy with the last name Krukenberg. So,
tough names to say.
six player trade right there happening February 8th. Who do you think wins that one, the Pacers or the Kings?
I mean, I kind of like both. I mean, if you look at Sabonis, right? I think Sabonis is a guy that a lot of people just don't talk about. You know what I mean? He's a very good player. Obviously, he makes a lot of plays, and he's been in a lot of All-Star games. I think, for him, getting on a new team, obviously, how's that going to be? But another underrated player that you mentioned in that trade, Tyrese Halliburton. I think he is a guy that, obviously, with the Kings, he was low-leveled out there, but he could shoot. You know what I mean? And I think for a Pacers team, you want shooters. You want people that are going to help out your team overall. So I think it could go either way, but I kind of like Sabonis, just how he plays. You know what I mean? His grit, his demeanor and everything. So,
Absolutely. Now, moving forward, one last topic before we switch up to the board. The Winter Olympics, the 2022 Winter Olympics are now live. I believe they're actually in China again.
yes, Beijing.
And,
yes, Beijing.
You might feel like, it's, the Olympics felt like last year, aren't they supposed to be every 2 years?
Every 2
You'd be
years.
right. COVID pushed the 2020 Olympics back to 2021. Now we're on the 2022 Winter Olympics. And just taking a quick check at the medals, Germany's currently in first with 6 gold, 3 silver, and 0 bronze. Norway's in second with 5 gold, 3 silver, and 4 bronze. And then coming in at fourth is America, 4 golds, 5 silvers, 1 bronze. Max, which one of these countries really stands out to you?
Yeah, I mean, well, I think it's obviously I kind of want to highlight the USA. Just kind of looking at some of obviously the figure skating one with Nathan Chen. I think obviously he's been a guy he got gold for that event as well. He's been making a lot of names, Kruck. You know what I mean? He's been very good at that event for a while, and he's just been doing it, man. And I think that was kind of expected for the U.S. though to kind of win that in that event. Also, though, looking at the women's snowboard halfpipe as well, Chloe Kim also won that and got gold as well. I think that's another one. She's been doing a lot of great things too. You know what I mean? She's been helping out this whole thing, and she was very emotional when she won gold in that Kruck. And I think it's obviously when you win something so much and you get it, it's awesome. So, I mean, those are kind of the 2 main ones so far. Obviously, we're just starting, right? You know what I mean? So we don't know. Obviously, these are way too early kind of calls for medals. But I think looking at the USA should be pretty good shape at the moment.
Absolutely. My big one that I really want to note is Shaun White. This is going to be his last Olympics. And growing up, Shaun White was like literally the only snowboarder that I knew because I played his video game on my DS when we would go on road trips as a kid.
Wow.
So, Shaun White, I love watching him. Him in the X Games was always fun. Watching him in the Olympics is always great as well. But, I mean, it's a huge thing. And then another person, since I have the floor, is going to be the women's sprint freestyle for cross country. Jessie Diggins. She actually earned bronze. So, that's huge. Sprinting on skis, that's huge. Yeah. So, yeah, congratulations to all of the athletes performing.
Yeah, wish you luck.
That's
sure.
100% true. Rep your country, and even if your country's not America, even though this is an American show, rep your country.
Yeah.
I'm part German. I'll take credit for half of those German golds.
German ancestor a little bit too.
Why not, right? We got Tim Hackett in the back. He's part Norwegian. He's getting at least half a gold.
Half a gold.
We got Garrett Tipton, part Swedish.
Swedish?
He might not win a gold.
Swedish, huh?
But you know what? He'll definitely get a silver. We're going to head to a quick break. We'll be right back with more board talk right after this. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the second segment of Crunch Time with Kruck. We're up at the board. Kind of shifted it to the middle for everybody. And we are going to have some fun. We're bringing on 2 guests, not just 1, but 2. We've got Garrett Tipton and CK. Come on down.
Yeah, what up, boys?
Mr. Tipton.
It's our boy CK right here. How we doing? Good to see you. Good to see you.
So while we got this time, we're going through pre-game music.
Yes.
Everybody gets to pick 3 pre-game songs, and we're going to start it shortest to tallest. CK, you're first.
Okay, how I got
Let's get you through.
All right, I know that it ain't P if I'm not pushing P before any of these games, so I'm going to go ahead and make my number 1 choice at you mind if I borrow your marker? Pushing P, for sure. Got to be pushing that P. At second choice, man, this is a wild card, but you know what? I'm going to shock the nation and go Enter Sandman.
Oh,
because that song's a banger. I got to go crazy. Yeah. I got to get the right mind going before. And just to chill things out right before I hit the mat or the football field, whatever it is, man, I'm looking for All of the Lights by Kanye West is right here for me. Perfect. Thank you.
Look at that. Max, you're up next. What we got?
All right. Well, hey, mine's a little bit different than his. He actually had a good list, right? He had a good list overall, but we'll see. This is a weird one for me because usually, listen, before games, I'm from Columbus, Ohio, right? So my number 1 choice would obviously be 7 Nation Army. And I always loved that song. I always liked it. It was very good. It got me excited for Ohio State games. So that, for me, will probably be my number 1 choice.
Let's see. The second one though, there's a lot of good. We got a lot of good choices, don't we, Kruck? I would probably say, listen, it wouldn't be weird if I didn't pick "Welcome to the Jungle" and had a Bengals jersey on. You know what I mean? It'd just be a little weird overall. So I'd pick number 2 for me, the Guns N' Roses. And let's see, number 3rd choice. We got a good list. But hey, I always listen to this song before games. "We Ready" by Archie Eversole. Very good song. So for me, that will be my 3rd choice. So that's my top 3, guys.
Tipton, I'll let you go first. You're pretty antsy. I don't want you to
yeah.
get too upset.
You know, all right. So for me, when it's pregame and I'm getting ready for a game, I'm listening to nothing but heavy metal.
Ooh.
Nothing but heavy metal.
Just heavy metal, huh?
But you know what? For today, we'll calm it down. We'll go just good pregame songs in general because I know not everyone's going to be listening to Slipknot and Metallica before a game.
Oh, yeah, that's...
So, but in honor of that, my first pick is definitely going to have to be "Fuel" by Metallica. Right before I went out to any high school football game, I had my headphones on, and that is the one song that was blasting in my ears right before I walked out to the field.
Yes, sir.
Every
Okay.
time. So,
got you.
my next song, obviously, I can't not pick Kodak. I just can't. So we gotta have "No Flocking" by Kodak,
All right.
and then for my third one, we do have a really good list here.
We do.
So this one's kind of hard, but I think I'm gonna have to go with a classic. I'm gonna have to agree with Max here. "Seven Nation Army."
Yeah.
It's a classic, and it's probably one of my favorite football songs.
It's you know what I mean? It feels like it's a song that gets you going. You know
It
what I
is.
mean? It's just
It
like
is. Now it's a little bit overplayed for football, but I
Yeah,
can
a little
still jam
overplayed.
to it
Yeah.
anytime. Anytime.
especially from where I'm from. It's way
Oh,
overplayed.
yeah.
For sure.
Kruk, it's on to you, man.
All right, Kruck. last
Everybody's
one up
had good picks so far. I mean, none of these songs are bad.
Yeah.
We put them up here for a reason. But now we're going to get to the real
here.
top 3.
The
all
real
right?
list, right? The real
We're gonna-
list.
we're gonna
All
start
right,
off-
Here we go.
We're going to start off by Thunderstruck, AC/DC.
That's a good
Oh,
one.
Everybody knows it. Everybody loves it.
Yeah.
All right? From the East Coast to the West Coast.
Yeah.
We like it. An oldie but a goodie, 300 Violin Orchestra. This one was back when our main man, Tim Hackett, was still in high school. I remember going to the original school I went to, North Boone, public school. They actually played this before every single basketball game. And I would go, I was that little kid, right, who would like try to sit with the student section. Like, I was in like 5th, 6th grade, and I was trying to sit with like the high schoolers.
Yeah.
I was that guy.
Trying to be that guy.
Trying to be the top dog.
And-
You know what I mean? The top dog. Let's see what we got.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull a wild card here, guys.
Oh boy, wild card.
What?
Oh boy,
Whoa,
he's
what?
switching up a name.
What?
Oh boy.
Oh,
Whoa, hold up. Did you guys seen this? The Spice Girls? The Spice Girls.
Wanna Be by the
please
Spice
explain.
Girls.
Yeah,
Can
please
we
explain.
just point out
Please
that he
explain.
just disrespected Meek Mill for the Spice Girls?
Yeah.
You
I
could have
just-
picked. You
just
could have
put
picked
that out
them.
there.
Could have picked them.
Okay, but
you could've picked
yeah,
them.
you
Yeah.
Spice Girls, Meek Mill for pregame.
All I'm
I just
gonna
want to hear this explanation.
All I'm gonna
That's all
say
I really
is,
wanna know.
when you hear this song, you cannot be chill. Like when you hear this music
Okay.
playing,
Get you
you
going
can't
right
just
now.
sit in your chair, like legs folded, and be like, "Oh, can I get a spot of tea with a crock on it?" No, you can't. You hop up and you're good to go. All right. A close fourth was Everybody Dance Now, but that's not really pregame.
Yeah.
Wanna Be by the Spice Girls.
Wow.
Hits it hard. If you like the music we had down here today, make sure to check down in the comments. There'll be a link to each song on YouTube. If you're listening to it on a podcast, go ahead and check the YouTube channel, Krunch Time. It's on YouTube. Until next time, Kruck, Mad Max, CK, Garrett Tipton, behind the camera, Tim Hackett. We'll see you next time. Stay classy.
Deuces.
Peace.